everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an addition to the Honest Work Conversations series. I'm going to be discussing what it's like working for a Big Four. So you may have checked out my previous video. If you haven't, I'm going to link it up here or in the description box, where I talked about debunking myths that come with working at a Big Four. Today's video will be from a different lens, still exposing how it's like working here, but I'm going to just be discussing 3 key things that you can expect when you join a Big Four. So caveat, everyone's experience is different, but I'll be speaking on my own experience. So I joined a Big Four on a tech consulting grad scheme in 2017. So it's been a while. And I currently work at a Big Four, a different one to the one that I joined when I initially started. But I can share my experiences from both. They're quite similar, actually. You'd be surprised how similar the Big Four firms are. So I'll just be walking through 3 key things that you can expect when you join a Big Four. So one of them is that you'd be part of a team, but everyone's experience is different. So what I mean by this is, you can speak to me now. Let's say we bump into each other and you bump into another person from my team and ask me what I do, ask them what they do, and the response would be, you can expect it to be different. So what I mean by this is, your experience and your experience in the firm is really shaped by the projects you get onto. And a lot of our work is project based, and those projects are super different. So there's some people from day one when they join, they get onto a huge project that lasts 3 to 5 years, and the experience is fully on that. They're on that from day one and they've been on that project for years. Now their experience, they literally can essentially be said to be part of that client's organization because they spend more time with that client than even with the firm. So that could be one person's experience, and theirs would be limited, not limited in a negative way, but limited to whatever engagement that is with that client. So it could be that's tooling implementation. So they're probably implementing a huge ERP system like SAP. Now, their experience will be limited to tooling implementation. Now, someone else's experience would be small, shorter projects that are fast-paced, and they are maybe in 6-week sprints. So that person's experience would be, this time they're working for the council. The next one, they're working for a retail consumer client. The next one is, so that person's experience would be different. And even just the role that one takes on a project really varies. So I'll give you an example. When I joined, I'll even talk about my previous role. So on one project, I was doing more of a compliance audit role. So by this, it's a client subscribes to a specific code, and we go in to check how compliant they are to that code. So I'm more of a compliance auditor, right? On another engagement, I was part of the business change team. So they were implementing a new system and new processes, and I was facilitating, coordinating how this change would have impacted their current ways of working. So in that one, I was facilitating a change. So working with the business to make the change as smooth and seamless as possible. So those are 2 very different roles, yet I'm part of the same team. So this is why we find it hard to say what we do. Like, if you ask me what I do, I do is based on what I'm doing right now. There is the description that's standard, that's for the team. But to be honest, am I doing that? No, I'm really doing what's needed of me in my current project. So what we do varies a lot. And this is a good thing, especially if you don't like routine. So like for me, I get bored easily. So I like a new challenge, and this works for me. But for someone else, it can be a bit unsettling when what you're doing changes every 3 to 6 months, depending on what you're working on. So this is just something to be aware of when if you're considering joining a Big Four. Today's video is sponsored by giveinternet.org. Their mission is to empower and connect students and individuals from developing countries to the internet, which is super important in this day and age. Their work is international. They work with my home country, Kenya, and other East African countries. They also work in Georgia. They have a lot of work they do in Georgia and also India and other countries. I definitely urge you to check them out. Check the link in the description if you'd like to find out more about the work that they do. A key reason why I was super excited when they reached out to me and for us to work together was essentially the fact that they were addressing a key need, which is usually a barrier for a lot of people in poverty, which is empowering them to fend for themselves by giving them access to technology. Food and water is super important. We wouldn't be able to get by if we're not fed. But to elevate someone beyond the barriers of their environment and removing that dependency on handouts, it's key to empower someone to have the skills to be able to fend for themselves. And I believe, which I think it's proven actually, that giving someone access to the internet will really help them when it comes to accessing information, opportunities, learning, new skills, virtual. We can learn literally almost anything on the internet. You'd know this if you do DIY. But yeah, and you get the point. I'd definitely encourage you to sign up. It only takes $9 to sponsor one student to have internet access. If you'd like to sponsor a student to have a laptop, you can sign up to $25 a month. You can find all these details in the link in the description box, but definitely help one student to help themselves. Another thing you can expect is meetings. Now, meetings. You can expect lots and lots of meetings, especially the higher you rise. So when you are more junior, like when I joined as a grad, I used to join the meetings or join the sessions where it's more of a working meeting, where we're trying to get information from the client. But I wouldn't be involved as much in the kickoff and the close off. So the kickoff would be where we're going to, kickstart an engagement, set the tone on how things will work with the client and things like that. Those used to be mainly for the in charge and the managers. So I would come in when that's already been planned out, and now we're ready to get to start. And those meetings that I'm part of are more to gather information from the client. Now, the more you rise, so now more at AM, senior consultant level, you start owning work packages and you're the one to initiate, drive the delivery and also close them off. Those ones, and also manage the team in terms of is everyone okay? Does everyone understand what they need to do? All of that. To be able to do each of those things is equivalent to a meeting. Like, you can log in and you're in meetings 9 to 5. Now, it's mainly become more of a thing after COVID. Now, before COVID, you would be in the same room. So a lot of what has been replaced with meetings would be individual conversations that you'd have. It could be the more formal meetings that where a decision needs to be made, like you're meeting someone who's not familiar. But if you know that this is your client contact, you can literally even sit side by side with them, get the information. So after COVID is when I must say this meeting pandemic has happened. Like, there's just meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And I don't know if it's a good thing, because sometimes I'm like, when will I actually do work? But when you look at it from the perspective of getting stuff done, then the meetings are needed, because some people just never read emails. You request something and it doesn't come through. Only when you ring them that you'll be able to get that information. So you can expect lots and lots of meetings. It does need you to manage your diary though, because at the end you'll never be able to do work. So you do need to set some sort of not mechanism, like house rules with the client and also with the team, just on what things, when is the meeting needed versus not. I'm sure you've seen those memes of a meeting that could have been an email. Yes, you can expect that a lot. And sometimes you have to be the one to call out some inefficiencies where it's applicable. Anyway, another thing you can expect lots and lots of training opportunities. This is a huge plus. I love learning. I can almost be a professional student if it paid me. So there are lots and lots of paid training opportunities. The only catch is we're usually so busy, there's no time to actually do the training. You have to create that time. You have to put it as a priority. You have to communicate that priority to your line manager. But most of the time, there's usually carved out learning pathways for you. You know that if I'm to grow in this role, this is what I need to go, especially if you're joining from a grad scheme going on. It's only experienced hire where the one needs to really like work out with your performance manager what training is relevant for you, where the gaps are. But if you've grown in the firm, there's usually very clear learning pathways and development pathways for you. So I mean, if you check out my LinkedIn, you'll see I have certifications for days. But you might be surprised that that's not necessarily a priority for somebody else. So someone else may only do the ones that they feel like. But if you love certifications, this is a place for you. As long as you have a business case to support why you want, and most of the time, especially if you go for the ones already recommended for your team, you don't even need a business case. It's been done for you through the learning pathway being carved out. So yeah, that's something I love, love, love. I do a certification every 3 or 6 months, and that's what keeps me excited, being able to just learn new things and apply them in my day to day. Yeah, let me know if you're enjoying this series. What else is it that you'd like to know about working at a Big Four? I would love to engage with you and create content that's valuable for you. Cheers. Bye.